Okay, last video, I promise. Um, so these ones, as soon as you see any kind of tables happening, these are going to be a regression problem. So what that means is that these are the ones that you're going to have to be able to like put these numbers into your calculator, and the calculator is going to pop out a quadratic equation at you. It's going to tell you what the quadratic equation is. So first, what we have to do though is, let's read the question here. It says a hockey arena has 2,400 seats. When the price of a ticket is $10, all seats are sold for every game. The manager needs to increase the revenue from the sale of tickets. So she commissions a survey to predict ticket sales for different tickets. The results are shown in the table below. So they'll give you a bunch of data. Now, the first part says find the revenue generated for each ticket price. So all we need to do is multiply these two numbers, right? Ticket price, $10, number of tickets sold or expected sales, so that times that. So at 10 is just going to be, and I'll just fill these in, so I'll pause it and do that quick. Okay, once you've got those numbers figured out there, these ones now, we're going to do a little bit different in your graph, right? You're not going to go to graph. We're going to make a new document. No, I don't. And then now we're getting down into these ones, right? Not just the graphs. We're going to, first what we're going to do is make list and spreadsheet. So we're going to go to that one. Make a little column for this one. So that's going to be ticket price and revenue. So maybe this one will just be, let's say, where's P? Price. And I'll call this one rev. Okay, now just put your numbers in. So $10, 25, 35, and 50. And at 10 it was 24,000. Okay, and one place they might make a mistake is you might make sure on the very last one push enter so it actually puts that in. If you don't do that, then it'll kind of mess everything up. Okay, so now that you've got that part, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to add a new page. So what that's going to do is add a new page that's going to use this info. So the page is this blue thing right here. It says, you know, plus page right above doc. So go control, new page. And now what we want to do is add data and statistics. So now what it's done is thrown all of our points just randomly onto this thing. Your guys probably look different than mine does. What we need to do is just click to add a y-axis here. And the y-axis is gonna be our price for all of these ones. So, or sorry, it's gonna be the revenue, my bad. So it's gonna be how much you make up the side, you know, how much you're making up there. Then click to add for the x-axis, and that's going to be our price. And you can see we've kind of got a pretty good U shape happening there, or upside down U shape. So now the next thing we need to do is we just got to figure out what equation is actually giving us. So you go menu, analyze, and then regression. And now all of them that we're doing is quadratic, right? This unit is about quadratics, so quadratic. And it's fit perfectly, right? So they've told us that it's negative 55.9333 x squared, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Okay, so just as I'm writing this out, one thing I just want to draw your attention to is in your calculator, this might be small on your end, I don't know, it says, like up here, where the little hand is, it says plus negative. That's really just the same as subtracting, right? So we're just going to go minus 3060.78. So minus 3060.78. Okay, and the reason why I went 2 decimal places is because it said to the nearest hundredth as necessary. Okay, now it says what ticket price will generate revenue of $40,000. So they've given us a revenue, right? They've given us a Y value. We want to know what the X value is going to be that corresponds to that. So what we need to do is take our formula and actually put it into a graph. So we're going to graph that, and we're going to put in the one I just did up, or I just wrote down there. Okay, so I graphed this thing. Whoop. One sec. There we go. So I graphed this thing, and one thing I just want to make sure that you kind of recognize again when you're doing your Windows settings is I knew a pretty good value for my Y maximum because of this, right? My revenue, that is my Y. So I can tell it kind of maxes out at around like 44 or something like that, maybe 43, whatever. So I made mine like 46. That was my max. It could have been like, I probably should have been like 50. Would have been better. You could see even more at the top there, but that worked. And then my X, well, I can see that my max here, you can kind of see from my numbers that it goes, you know, goes up and then goes down again on the revenue. These numbers aren't going to go more than like, you know, 70 or 80 maybe, right? So I went to 100. So just to give you an idea of where I got those numbers from for my Windows settings. Okay, now this one. We haven't talked about how to do these ones yet. So it says what ticket price will generate a revenue of 40,000. So what that means is that the Y value is going to be 40,000, and I got to figure out what the X values will be at that. If you think about it, there should be two, right? The way that you can do this on your graph, they're not quite as easy as the other way. If they gave you an X and you want to find a Y, what we need to do is actually make another line at 40,000. So we're going to go tab, and now this is F2, right? And in F2, I'm going to type just the straight 40,000. And if I push enter, you'll see that that makes a line right across my graph, right? Because when I put in 40,000, it's a line that stays at 40,000 the entire way. And you can see that it crosses my graph there and there. So what I need to do now is figure out where does it cross, because that's going to tell me exactly what my X values are, right, where they cross. So the next step I'm going to do is go menu, analyze graph. Pretty much everything's under analyze graph. And the next one down is called intersection. I want to figure out where those two lines intersect. So I'm going to go to the left of where they intersect, to the right, and it tells me they intersect at 20.1. So that's my first point. So I know that the ticket price, what ticket prices will generate a revenue of that? Well, one of them is going to be at 20.1 is going to give me that, right? $20.1. But when it starts going back down again, I'm going to have another one. So I just need to go again and go menu, analyze graph, intersection, and then do the next intersection. So there and there. And it looks like it's going to be at 38.3. So at $38.3 as well. So those are my 2 points. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I'm going to end that video there, and I'll see you guys in class.